Hello everyone, I'm MARIZ ASUNCION, a student of AMA Online Education, currently taking Bachelor of Secondary Education major in Computer Education. This video presentation is required as a course project in Philippine Popular Culture under my professor, Professor Aliza S. Samantha. Here is the video presentation about the origin of Filipino people. The origin of the Filipino people. History is the record of one age finds worthy of note in another by Burkhardt. Who are the Filipinos? Well, if you want to know about the Filipinos, let's go back to the old roots of the Philippines to know about the origins of the Filipinos. Before the Spaniards arrived in the Philippines, the people lived in small towns called barangays. The leader of the barangay were called datus. Philippine history is said to be starting with Calauman's discovery in 2007, at least 67,000 years ago, when the first human arrived utilizing raffles or rudimentary boats, balangay boats. The ancient Calauman of Luzon, Philippines. Many historians and scientists believe that the earliest human remains of the Philippine island emerged during the Pleistocene period. There are two theories on where inhabitants, first Filipinos, came from, namely Bayer's migration theory and Jucano's evolution theory. Noted social scientist Henry Otley Bayer believes that Filipinos descended from different groups that came from Southeast Asia in successive waves of migration. Each group had a distinct culture with its own customs and tradition, while Jucanos believe that Asians, including Filipinos, are the result of lengthy process of evolution and migration. Migration theory. The first migrants were what Bayer called Dolmen or cavemen because they lived in caves. The Dolmen resembled Javaman, Pekingmen, and the other Asian Homo sapiens who existed about 250,000 years ago. They did not have any knowledge of agriculture and lived by hunting and fishing. It was precisely in search of food that they came to the Philippines by the way of the land bridges that connected the Philippines and Indonesia. Owing perhaps to their migratory nature, they eventually left the Philippines for destinations unknown. Nothing can be concluded about caveman's physical appearance from the recovered skull fragments except that he was not a negrito. Decades pass by. The war begins. Philippines was known to be named after King Philip II of Spain in the 16th century. On that time, Philippines never became peaceful. It comes the colonization of the other cultures from Spain, Japan, and the US. In the history of those years, Philippines was listed as one of the wealthiest countries in all terms. The Philippines was the first Asian country to gain its independence. A number of concerns, including those concerning economic and security agreements between the island and the United States, remain unsolved. Collaboration, on the other hand, became a prevalent issue in demands of the following Japan's capitulation, dividing the country and poisoning political life. After a long journey of battling against the colonization from different countries, the Philippines then gained its independence on July 4, 1946. This makes us competitive individuals.